Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. Evil Mojo just dropped a massive update on us, seemingly by surprise, and it's absolutely insane, some of the stuff they've added. It focuses on a lot of balance, and, well, some of it's pretty good, some of it is, it's just crazy. Let's just get right into it. Alright, so first of all, you know how they've been adding stuff back to the game from old maps, old details, and stuff like that? Well, check this out. In the shooting range, we actually have this old thing back. This is an old building that used to be in the center of the shooting range, and they've gone ahead and brought that back, just to, I guess, add a bit more life to the shooting range. It does kind of make it a bit more congested, I feel, but yeah, it's also, I guess it's pretty nice. It makes the shooting range a bit more interesting, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, let's talk about the balance. So, oh yeah. Also, they replaced Victor with Sky here to, I guess, add a few more characters to the shooting range, which that's also pretty cool. I think the shooting range does need a few more characters in it. So yeah, first of all, the balance. Androxus has, he's gotten some interesting changes. I would say this first one might be a little bit controversial. They've buffed his revolver damage back up to 600. So yeah, just a nice, crisp 4-shot there. But the trade-off is, they've actually gotten rid of his punch. So check this out. He's got a new ability. It's, I guess, a bit of a soft rework to Androxus. His right-click is now kind of like, I guess you would say it's kind of like Fan the Hammer from Cassidy in Overwatch, right? So we press right-click, shoot 3 shots, and if we do hit all 3 of the shots, you see we get bonus damage there. So yeah, and we can do some damage, but it is pretty hard to hit all 3 shots consistently, because you see the accuracy is pretty poor. So you have to be, like, really up close. It's kind of like the punch, but it requires ammo now, but it can potentially do more damage, so it's a little bit interesting. Also, one last thing that I'm super happy to see. They have buffed the dash. So, in base kit now, it feels like Darkstalker. So yeah, if you use something like Godslayer now, the dashes will still be linked, as you can see, there's still that little chain there. But yeah, you can just, dash around and it's super snappy now, and that feels really, really good. They've also gone and done a few quality of life changes for a few characters, and one of those characters is Barik. So this is just a small little detail, but I think it's really nice. When you press the ultimate, you now have this really cool animation. Check this out. Yeah, look at that! I think that's really cool, honestly. I'm super happy to see that animation added to the game. I think it's really nice. Now, Buck has gotten some pretty wild changes. He's gotten another one of those kind of, I guess it's a bit more of a rework than what they gave to Androxus, but it's still kind of like a soft rework. So they have done some changes. First of all, he does a little bit less damage now, but he now, if you do use Bounce House, he does actually have 2 charges, so you can just jump on somebody, and yeah, the damage is a lot lower, but he has a lot more mobility. The cooldown's also pretty low, so we can just keep on jumping and jumping around. And then on top of that, they've gone ahead and they buffed his recovery, so you can press recovery, you still heal, but you're able to shoot while the recovery is active, and you can see it actually lasts for a little bit longer as well, which is pretty cool. And finally, if we just go ahead and build our ultimate up here real quick, his ultimate has something pretty special. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a lot of my cooldowns here. We can even use recovery while we're reloading. And there we go. We have my ultimate. And now if I press ult, I get all my cooldowns back. And check this out. We're doing double damage now. But yeah, we don't shoot any faster now. So it's a bit of a rework to Buck's ultimate, and just kind of a power shift throughout all of his abilities. He's a little bit weaker in some areas, a little bit stronger in some areas. I think this is going to make him a lot more mobile and a lot less bursty. I don't know whether this will make people enjoy playing against him more or less, because I know he's very oppressive when he's strong, but he can also be kind of useless when he's weak. We'll just have to see how this plays out. Now, this is kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about this. They've changed my beloved Evie, and they've done some very weird stuff to her, and some of it I like, some of it I don't like. So I guess let's just get into it. First of all, when you blink now, you get bonus damage. Look at that. It's basically like Over the Moon, but with Blink, and that's just by default. On top of that, they have buffed her damage up to 930. And you might be thinking, whoa, what the heck? That's overpowered as crap. Well, she now has a lot slower projectiles. Look at how slow that is. So you actually have to try a lot harder to hit that. So I can potentially do more damage with Evie, which is great, because, like, armor plating is overpowered and all that stuff, right? But they're messing with my Evie in a way that's going to make it, like, really hard to hit projectiles now. And all that muscle memory is basically just going to be gone. So I think I probably don't like this, which is very sad. But I guess there's another great change we'll get to later that I guess makes this still okay, I guess, a fair trade-off for me. That'll still be a net positive for my enjoyment of the game, but that'll be a lot later in the video. But then, yeah, also they've changed her ultimate, so they've added an extra little animation to it, and they've made it come out slower. The animation's pretty cool, but yeah, you can see how much longer it takes to actually cast it now. Still does the same damage, still does the cripple. Honestly, it's kind of a way to nerf Snow Globe without nerfing Snow Globe directly, and it actually does impact all of her talents. So, yeah, Evie is, yeah, a lot, I guess, stronger in the damage department, but a lot weaker in terms of, I guess, how it feels to play the character, you know? You have to be a lot more precise with your shots now. You have to have a lot more skill with that, which I'm fine with adding more skill to the game, but it kind of sucks because I'm going to have to basically relearn how to hit these shots. And then, yeah, also a bit of a nerf to the ultimate. I think people will really like that nerf to the ultimate because, yeah, I know a lot of people really don't like playing against Snow Globe. Alright, now, let's talk about possibly the most controversial change of the update. KINESSA has been the worst damage champion in the game for a while now. I think we all can agree she's pretty garbage, especially when armor plating is as strong as it is. So they've gone and they've buffed KINESSA to an insane degree, if I'm being perfectly honest here. So, yeah, let's just dive into it. They have given her, on a card, mind you, this is a card rework, they have reworked a card to provide her with percent base damage on her sniper rifle. I'm not even joking. Look at this. We are going to just body shot Ying here. 1296. Okay, that's not that crazy. How about Fernando? Oh! Oh! Okay. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So, KINESSA is now... She's going to be pretty much the same versus flanks. I mean, shoot, on Sky there, we're not even getting the percent base damage. But against tanks now, KINESSA is now one of the best tank busters in the game. If you're ROM, you are not going to live. This has got to be the biggest nerf to ROM in history. I mean, what are you going to do when KINESSA just hits you for 3k as a tank? Shield management's going to be crazy. Armor plating is a must. But it gets even worse. Because, they brought back Eli. No, not the tiny little one that does like 500 damage shots and turns her into Octavia. No, I'm talking about the one that gave headshot bonus damage. Bye-bye. 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 4,000 damage headshot. That's just disgusting. What the heck? What happens if I ult him? Hold on. Let me let him heal up. Press the ult. 4,600 damage headshot. What? That's just crazy. That's just crazy. So they definitely have buffed KINESSA. Also, I forgot to mention, they did also buff her charge rate a little bit. She is shooting a little bit faster now. And another thing that's actually a huge quality of life change that I really like is they have buffed her her FOV. So before, if you were standing at this door, you would not be able to see Fernando and Sky. But now I can easily see them in my periphery, so it's going to be a lot easier to not get tunnel visioned with KINESSA now. I think that's a great change, but they probably need to walk back on these damage buffs because, oh my god, that just doesn't feel fair, man. Now, you guys are going to be really happy about this change. The KINESSA change, yeah, that's going to spark some controversy, but I think we all can agree this Maeve change is excellent. Street Justice is gone. There's no more Street Justice. It's dead. It's gone. Goodbye. And in its place, we've actually gotten back a talent from back in the open beta days, which I'm really happy to see. Check this out. 1, 2, 3! We can triple jump now. And the really cool thing about this is, check this out. So we can prowl. 1, 2, 3. Then we can pounce. And we actually get a double jump like that. So normally after the pounce, you get 1 extra jump, but with this talent, you get 2 extra jumps. So this is basically just like hyper mobility, like super in the sky, just flying all over the place Maeve. But the thing is, yeah, you're not able to use Cat Burglar and this talent at the same time. That would be pretty silly. So, yeah. You're not going to have that much damage with this talent. You're not going to have even as much damage as Rogue's Gambit. But it does provide a really cool mobility talent. And even if this talent doesn't get used that much, at least Street Justice is gone. And we can be very happy to see that, because Street Justice is just terrible talent design. Speaking of mobility and jumping midair, they've also done what I think is, quite frankly, an excellent change to Pip to also give him a lot more mobility and really help enable him to do just really cool rollouts. So Pip, now in Weightless, has the ability to, A, when you activate Weightless midair, it automatically lets you jump, but also you can double jump in Weightless, meaning you can get a lot more distance out of this. You can use it for a lot more rollouts on maps. It's going to give him some really good mobility for a support. It's really going to play well with Catalyst, I think, which is great because, you know, the keywords have been removed on that, or getting removed on that anyways. They haven't done that this update, but they're going to do it soon. So when keywords get removed, you're going to be doing less damage, but with this change, now you have that extra mobility. Pip's just going to feel awesome. He's going to be so much fun. And it's not even really, I don't think, going to be that unfair because, yeah, he has this crazy mobility now, but he still has the biggest head in the game. So just play a hit scan, and you'll still be able to deal with him, I think, pretty easily. But yeah, you can also use this with wall jumps. Boing, boing. Whee! Just look at that. Imagine the rollouts you'll be able to do with that, and imagine when you also do the really fancy rollouts that I can't do, where you actually add in the self-knockback of these abilities, right? Imagine what Pip mains are going to do with that. I mean, that's insane. So I'm super happy to see this change. Now, we've talked about a few soft reworks up to this point, but there's one full rework in this patch, and that has gone to Ruckus. This is very spicy, and I believe, if I recall correctly, it's drawing some inspiration from the open beta days as well. So Ruckus now has aerial assault and base kit. That's pretty cool. Look at that, we can go. We can fly around, it's great. But he doesn't have missiles anymore. Instead, he's got a brand new ability on top of his shield. He's just got some really weird stuff going on, so let's check it out. Also, they buffed his base damage up to compensate for the missiles being gone, which I think is going to make him disgusting on controller. 53 damage per shot now, 80 per headshot. That is crazy. But yeah, no more missiles, so this is probably a net buff, actually, in terms of his damage output. Anyways, let's talk about his other abilities. So if you press this is his shield as normal. What you see there, we also slowed the nearby Pip. So when we activate our shield now, we gain like a little radial pulse that'll slow enemies that are near us, making it harder for them to run away from us, which is good, considering that we do slow ourselves when we shoot. So everyone's just going to be kind of moving a little bit slower. But then there's also another really cool new ability that he has that actually makes him a lot more defensive. And that is called Repulsor Field. So you basically gain damage reduction when you activate this ability. And you provide that damage reduction to your teammates as well. So it's kind of an aerial, or radial, excuse me, way for Ruckus to protect him and his team. And so he now has these two different defensive abilities on top of aerial assault and much increased damage at base. Look how fast we killed that castle with headshots. Body shots, still pretty fast. So I think this is very interesting for Ruckus. I think this is probably a net buff. Considering double defense ability sounds great. I mean, we can just pop that, get the damage reduction, protect Fernando. Okay, now that's down. Now I can pop my shield, slow the Cassie, and we basically just stagger our self-sustain on top of having these dashes as well. It seems very interesting for me. I'm not entirely sure if Ruckus really needed this many buffs or a full rework like this. I'm happy they put Aerial Assault in the base kit, but yeah, he's gonna feel almost like a new character. Now, this is just a straight blast from the past. They've decided to harken back to days past and allow you, for the first time, to play basically an old playstyle on a talent. So, Desert Silence is just gone, because it's a useless talent, nobody plays it. And instead, we now have Sha Lin, but from back in the beta days, which is a bit harder to play, but his damage output is now theoretically higher. So yeah, check this out. Back in the day, the way Sha Lin worked was you didn't have the cripple arrow on your right click. Instead, it was impaler arrow. You press the button, and it would knock enemies back. And if you hit them versus a wall, like this tiny little log right here, you'd see that they get stunned. So, but if you didn't hit them into a wall, like if I just hit the Ying back this way, we knock her back, but we don't stun her. So it's a lot more skillful crowd control, but a stun is obviously a lot more powerful than cripple. So if you do hit that stun, it's very rewarding. You're just not going to be hitting that all the time, because obviously enemies aren't going to be hugging walls all the time. But also, Rapid Shot got changed. So when you use this talent with Rapid Shot now, you do a lot more damage, actually, but you also stand still. So if I just If I'm walking around, right, I walk forward at this Fernando and then press rapid shot. We almost killed Fernando with one rapid shot, but I couldn't move. So that's another key trade-off. So it's going to make Sha Lin a lot more hard, or a lot more difficult, excuse me. But, yeah, it's potentially going to be more rewarding if you master it. Will this be the new meta? I don't know. Also, one more thing. In keeping tradition with adding details back from the past, they've also added these little guys back. He's supposed to have desert mirages appear whenever he uses his dash, right? And also his ultimate. Let me build that real quick. Bing, 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 bing. There we go. Yeah, when you use the ultimate whenever you shoot, you're also supposed to have a mirage, but at some point I think they just got removed or broken or something like that. But now, yeah, you can kind of confuse people. They don't do anything. They're literally just visual. They're not even Ying illusions. Like, you can't shoot them. They're fake. But I think it's a nice little detail to add back to the game because I like little details like that. I think they add more character to the characters. That was a weird sentence. There's also one more talent that got changed to bring back an old playstyle, and this is what I was talking about from earlier when I said that, yeah, they might have done some weird stuff to Evie, but there's a change later that I really like. This is that change. Old Torvald's back. He's just back! So, Field Study is a trash talent. Nobody uses it, so they got rid of it. And they replaced it with the ability to completely change Torvald into a different character, which is Torvald before the rework that happened in the beta. So I'm just going to break this down for you guys. First of all, his primary fire is this. No, I'm not actually nullifying the Ying. That's just how I do damage, is with this beam. It is auto-aim, but you'll notice it's ridiculously short range. So, yeah, you don't want to get close to Torvald because Torvald's just going to have free damage on you no matter what. But, yeah, he doesn't have mobility. So it's like, it's just... the concept is you do not get close to this character. If you do, you get punished. Position yourself smartly. The second ability is his recharge. Now, I can't actually show this in the game, sadly. But Shield Suck is back. Maybe I can find a way to do it in like a custom game in a moment. But Shield Suck is back. So recharge now lasts for a much longer amount of time. It doesn't recharge as much shield health, but if you basically hold it near a shield, you'll be able to generate a lot more shield health. Okay, so yeah, let me show you this Shield Suck in action, but also, they've found a few more classic maps and added them back to the classic maps pool, and also into customs here, so we can see Frozen Guard is back. This is the old version of Frozen Guard. And, yeah, as you can see, it matches all the other ice maps a lot better. Only one ice map ever got reworked, and that was Frozen Guard. And now, yeah, we get to see what the old Frozen Guard looks like. And honestly, I think I prefer it in this version. The new Frozen Guard looks nice, but it looks like a Christmas card. It doesn't look like Paladins. This matches every other ice map in the game, and I think I much prefer that. They have also, this map also did get a lot of layout changes, so, like, there's a lot more cover over here. There's also no wall right there, so that got removed. There are a lot of details, though, in decorations, which I really appreciate. And also on this side of the map, you can see that this is actually completely blocked off. Or it was back in the day, anyways. So, yeah. You can only walk through that tight hallway, or if you're a daredevil, like me, you can just jump on these little wooden beams, and it's very tense. But, yeah, you can make it. And so you can flake around there as well if you're Torvald, or if you have mobility, you can just go around. But, yeah, let me show you the Shield Suck. Fernando! Yeah, we just do a ton of damage to the shield, and they didn't actually do any damage to me, so we didn't get to see the power of the recharge. Let me throw out the other ability. That's Runic Blast. And that is basically how Torvald used to silence back in the day, but that's been brought back on this talent now. So, yeah, you can silence the enemies, and it also, I believe, disarmed them, too, which, yeah, is evidenced by the fact that they just stopped shooting. So, yeah, it's a very powerful ability, but it's very short-ranged. It literally explodes, like, right in front of me. It's kind of similar to the range of Kinetic Burst, I would say. But yeah, let's let them shoot me. Ah! Come on, bots! Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! Alright, they've shot me. And then recharge off of Fernando's shield. Look at how fast that recharges, and it destroys most of the shield. I gotta get out of here, though. Oh, boy. Oh, and my ult's ready. My ult's ready. Go! Damage! Ooh, she's so one. I'm out of range. Come here. Yeah, Torvald's a lot shorter range, but he's a lot beefier. Like, the shield is super, super strong. Runic Blast can also, you know, it silences multiple people. So that's kind of a bonus, although it is also shorter range than Nullify, so there's that too. A lot of trade-offs with this old version of Torvald, but I'm just happy to see the playstyle return, because I loved this back in the day. And even if it's not meta in ranked or anything, it is very clearly a unique playstyle for Torvald, so I'm so happy that this is just a talent now. This is my dream, honestly. Now, there's one last thing I want to show you in regards to champion changes. That's another kind of quality of life thing, and that is for Ying. And I also want to show you another one of the classic maps they've brought back, and that is Frog Isle, which actually looks a bit different. There's a lot less cover over here. It's actually a very pretty map, I have to say. This frog, you can't jump on it. It's actually a jaguar. It's not even a frog, man. What the heck? But a lot of the layout is the same. These trees are still here, though they are a lot darker. So yeah. But it is mostly just the Frog Isle we know. The Frog Isle rework was more of a visual one than an actual layout one. Although, in the process, they did end up breaking a lot of hitboxes and stuff. Like, yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Actually, is this still broken? Oh yeah, this is still weird. Man, Frog Isle was always just kind of a weird map. But the one thing I want to show you, I have the ultimate modifier on for customs here. I want to show you a feature on Ying ult. If we press this, you can see all these teleport markers. Because if you didn't know, you can actually teleport to your teammates when you use the ultimate. Now, you just have all these teleport markers that show exactly where you can teleport to. So it makes it a lot clearer where you can teleport, and it also makes it clearer that you can actually teleport to teammates in the ultimate. Which, if you didn't know that, now you know. But, yeah, I think that's really cool. Just a small little detail that, you know, is added back to the game. They're adding back a lot of features that they just kind of left out. Alright. It's time to come clean. This is an April Fool's joke. Did you check the date? Did this video actually fool you? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to explain how I did all of this, as we explore the old version of Jaguar Falls with Double Jump Pip. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this rollout, man. That is just so cool. I freaking love this, man. They should unironically add this to, like, current Paladins. But, yeah. This is actually a super old version of Paladins. Like, old. We're talking, like, right when I started playing Paladins, pretty much. This is the patch when talents were added to the game. Like, the first time Paladins, talents existed in Paladins. Like, that, this is the genesis of talents. I actually have to interject here because I'm an idiot. I said I was playing in an old beta version of Paladins, but I forgot to say how. Stupid. But, yeah, the reason I'm able to play an old version of Paladins natively on my computer is due to the work of some absolutely amazing people, including Kana. I don't actually know the names of the other people in the group. I know Old Victor also is someone who's been working on it, but I don't know the other names, so if you are someone who's worked on this project, then feel free to, you know, give me a shout out in the comment section down below. I'll pin you or shout you out in some way, right? But these people have been working to restore and basically archive old versions of Paladins so that, you know, for years to come, if you want to go back and see what Paladins was like, you can. It's not a public project. They're not making money off this. It's basically a fan-made project, right? A community sort of thing. And they let me have access to this because, well, I've been around a long time. I played on this exact version of Paladins for some of my earliest Paladins videos. And so it was really just an amazing nostalgia trip for me, but it was also very educational, and now I get to make a video out of it too, so there's that as well. And yeah, they've just been doing some amazing work for, I guess, just the archival and the preservation of these old modes, because video game preservation is an important thing. There have been thousands of video games that are just lost to time. You can never play them again. Some people don't even remember some of these old games. Like, they've been so forgotten that nobody even knows that they've been forgotten in the first place. And we don't want Paladins to be like that in 20 years' time. And so this archival project is very helpful for that. So yeah, huge shout out to all the guys working on this restoration project. Let's get back to what I was waffling about. And the game was much, much different at the time. Torvald was the newest character. That's why, you know, he's old Torvald and not anywhere remotely the same as new Torvald. And yeah, all of the maps were before their reworked editions, right? Or at least the reworks we've come to know, where they got a complete, like, facelift on the visuals and all that. And so every map is thematically consistent, and they are gorgeous, I have to say. Like, all of these maps had so many details. Serpent Beach Had more details as well. That's another map that actually does need to get its details back in the live servers. We're still waiting on that. But yeah, it had a lot of really interesting game mechanics. Some of them were pretty busted, like the KINESSA change. That's ridiculous and should never be a thing in Paladins ever again. That whole percent-based damage gimmick. But yeah, Pip had this double jump talent. Maeve had her triple jump talent. Mobility was a lot stronger. And yeah, things were just completely different. It was a different time, right? And yeah, some things were worse in terms of the balance. Again, that KINESSA card, oh boy. But I think there are a lot of things that the game can learn from the older versions of Paladins, like adding some of these really cool mobility quirks back, like double jumping Pip. I really want to see that, honestly. It's just so cool, man. It's just so cool. Is this not freaking amazing? Look at that. Oh, I almost made it, but I ran out of weightless. But yeah, it is super cool. And also, a lot of the details added to the game. Like, yeah, legitimately, Bomb King's Wick is broken. They need to fix that. Poppy Bomb doesn't have animations. That needs to be fixed. A lot of things have been lost over time. All of these details that made the game feel more alive, but also in some cases were genuinely useful, like the Ying change that I showcased. But I think the best part about old Paladins, bar none, right? It's not double jump Pip. It's not Bomb King actually functioning and also having accelerant. No, it's not the old maps being absolutely gorgeous with all these details. It's none of that. No, the best thing about old beta Paladins is that there's no 7. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from me. Also, if you want to support the channel, please consider checking out my Nexus down below. You can buy some crystals and support me in the process. And lastly, don't forget to check out the Discord server and the Twitch channel as well. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.